They'll be calling you a radical. This way. Come here. We come up here and like to watch the sun come up, me and my little grandson. But this is one of my favorite places. The sun's coming up, this little nook on the Mighty West fills up. A lot of breaking news we need to talk about as far as the post-ignorance army, us going forward as we group. We need young intellects. We don't need young, mad lunatics who are clueless. We need intellects that are willing to do the work, who are willing to not just be keyboard activists. We need that. But you can't just be a keyboard activist. You can, I guess, but it has to be blended, especially if you're a young person. Down at CARLSBAD. Now let's talk about this. They tested the 13 now. Now remember, when I reported this early, right when they come in and said that all the lies, I said, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. How is this not malice? And this is what kills me about this whole dynamic. Where are the attorneys? They should be lined up 100 deep on Fukushima, on Mike. I've been begging for attorneys to show up. They won't show up. This is malice. When they come out and tell you, oh, they made statements. The NRC, the DOE made statements all over. Oh, it's fine, no contamination to the workers. Well, they test the workers. Plutonium in their bodies, 13. Do you know what a catastrophe is in the making down there? That means that it's been released into your bodies. 20 miles away, picking up in the redneck. They're lying, they're lying. That's all these guys people. How long are you people going to sit there and accept the lies? That's what our court systems are for. We have no attorneys with any souls. They want slam dunks. Or, you know, they want to be criminal attorneys. It's outrageous what's going on down there. It's outrageous, the cover-up of Fukushima. On March 26, 2011, Sanjay Gupta comes home. This is a practicing neurosurgeon, nominated to be the Surgeon General. I mean, I read the transcript. It's purely malice what he did. This is against the law, but we can't get any attorneys to take on anything the Queen's Court. They're afraid of the Queen's Court. Now, granted, we know the Supreme Court is totally 100% captured. Alito and Roberts are a legitimate Supreme Court, and everything that's been ruled since Alito and Roberts been appointed will be overturned in the future. Not my words. Justice Breyer's dissent, his words. It's an illegitimate court. We know that, which, you know, many presidents knew that court was illegitimate for decades and decades and decades. Look, our post-ignorance army, my little post-ignorance army, is very real. It's very real. You know, you want to poison nature for time and all eternity. You want to do this to our kids. You want to do this to our grandchildren. You want to do this to the unborn. It's just like somebody says, oh, small amounts of radiation. What? No, small radiations are not good. Maybe they'll be good for your unborn great-grandchildren, but not you. Not you. Fukushima killed so many people right here. Almost killed me. I had a guy say, oh, you're one of the very few who went through chemo. You get acute leukemia in that fashion. I love all of you alternative medicine people. Oh, I stuffed them full of freaking cannabis. Died. Oh, we took apricots. He died. All these things. There was a woman right here got sick times me. I mean, this is a hardcore militant, just like so many of you keyboard activists. You read something. You're too lazy to do a PhD. You're too lazy to do any undergraduate work. You're too lazy to get out in the street and do any work as far as educating yourself in the real theater. And same with academia. Academia is captured. Pencil pushers? No, they're not even pencil pushers. They're just in the club. You get in your head, you spew this radical idealistic bullshit out there. It's so dangerous. She's like, oh no, I'm going to do it with wheat germ. I'm going to do it with all this stuff. Like, she had a simple lump on her. She could have been saved. I watched her go. I mean, you couldn't even talk to her, just like so many of you. You can't have an open conversation. You're so close-minded, you're so militant, and it's a form of ignorance. It is really a grotesque form of ignorance. Stand tuned is, yeah, because it's pockets in the Pacific. Is it more dangerous in California? I don't know. Than it is, well, obviously not than it is right here. We see the mapping here. I got sick. You know, I've come a long, long ways out of this, hiking these mountains right here. This is a big deal in CARLSBAD. Just the fact, yeah, those 13 guys had it in them. They, you know, was it their urine and their swab, their mouth? Yeah. But remember what they were told. This is the malice of the DOE, the malice of the NRC. These are crimes. When are you people going to wake up and realize? And when are you politicians? And call Udall. And when you call Udall's office, bring up Stewart. I knew Stewart through Stegner. You know, so many of us did. You know, that was one grand environmentalist. And when you call Utah's office and say, hey, you know, what you ran on the platform of your uncle, you couldn't make a pimple on his, I mean, really? Really? You know, I know those guys love him. You know, call him out on it. Say, you're not even close to him, you're not a man. The first politician who stands up and takes on the Fukushima cause, a senator, or, you know, Boxer did somewhat, they squashed her down. The first senator or politician in a grassroots way who takes on the nuclear cartel, I tell you right now, they're going to live in infamy. I mean, they're going to be powerhouses. Hillary, Westinghouse, Rodham. You know, you think about the Republican oppositional party on the nomination of Gina McCarthy to RadNet. Or, I mean, to the EPA. Hold on, little young man, we'll go. You don't need that little coat on now. It's warm, the sun's up. You think about that. Vitter. That's the opposing party's role. He didn't even show up to the confirmation hearings. I mean, you know how radical these people are? I mean, I love it how you just throw the environment to the oligarchs and the queens freaking extractors. Oh, we. You just go on and you're comfortably numb, you're comfortably dumb dynamic. It's pathetic. You know, a pathetic populace, oh yeah, we need a small army. We need to band. You want to join up with me? Go for it. If you don't, that's fine. You know, out in the street, that's where we'll meet. I'm not just keyboard. I mean, yeah, this YouTube camera is a very big part of this movement because it's a powerful genre. YouTube's a powerful, powerful genre. Keyboard activism, as far as Facebook, if that's what you are, you know, yeah, it's great. You know, you can post a little thing, but it's pretty worthless, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a little bit of it that can, but, you know, we need young, we need intelligent to realize, look, you have no job market, none. You have no jobs. Really, when are you guys going to get pissed? You know, you're going to compete with slaves in China. We didn't as children. You know, our parents didn't do this to us. Poison your environment. You have no future. When are you going to freaking rattle this cage? Are you just going to sit in your cage? You're going to sit in that cage your whole life? Rattle the cage in an intellect way, not in an anarchist, radical, I'm just mad way. No, come on. Let's do this. We need strength in the street. Yeah, we have to be passionate and intense in the street, be able to rule and stand up and fight like the anarchists are. But we need to do it intelligently, know our subject matter. There are answers to this, very simple answers. Tariffs, usury laws, put them back in place. Strip the power away from these freaking, you know, the New World Order. There's nothing new about it. It's old as Babylon and evil as hell. Edward Abbey, about the neoconservatives, that was 30, 40 years ago he said that quote. Come on. Let's stand up, you guys. Let's get into the street. Let's protest. Let's organize. You know, I'm going to protest at Berkeley. We're going to protest. You know, we'll do it legally. We'll get our permits. You know, we need to throw a little salt into these universities. Oh my God. You know, talk about obey factories. Well, was it the professor's fault? No. I mean, I did a lecture yesterday. The first lecture I've done in a long time with the investment club kids, and you know, I've talked to, they're still professing, they're like, we tried Insight. The literature professor at the University of San Francisco, she says, I try to get my students excited and wound up, and they just, because you just go through the motions and think you're going to get in the club and graduate and get some job in the club, go to work for the DOE. Well, you're not, I'm telling you. That piece of paper is going to be worthless. If you're sitting in that classroom with that piece of paper, you're done. They're worthless. Same with the rest of you. Go at 5 o'clock in the morning, rush hour when it used to be 9. You're willing to work 65 hours to work to go deeper in debt? Really? And poison the environment for all time and eternity? You arrogant, come on. Boy, Stigrat's Army, join up with me. Let's make this happen. We can do this. It takes a small group. You know, we're not about quantity, we're about quality. Quality. You know, Occupy did a lot of great things. I was heavily of Occupy, but they did. Leaderless, please, come on, give me a break. Not leaders, forget it. You know, no answers. The likes of Michael Moore, the likes of Cornel West, you know, they clown that want a grandstand, they have no answers. I mean, yeah, they'll spin and babble. They never have any answers. That's the problem with all these people. They'll write a book and sell you a book. You know, gold's God, guns, they always have these things that cost you money, but they don't have answers. I have answers. We have answers. Our postal ignorance armies has answers. Put tariffs back in. You want to use slaves in China? We're going to charge you to get our goods in. You know, pay us. Pay us. Give us a sovereign wealth fund. Give us a state. All of us. Usury laws. Put them back in place. Take the power away from these hairsprayed non-work, work without freaking having wealth without work. It's a fallacy. Nuclear waste, stop it. Get rid of it. We don't use it. Stop it. The sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. Solar farms, solar farms, solar farms, solar farms. You know, they're happening. You know, we don't even use this nuclear power anymore. And the waste, shoot it into space. I mean, Carlsbad, I guess, solves that argument we've had about putting it into the repository. Well, we've seen what happened there. It's a big deal what's going on. At the same time, they're opening the first nuclear plant, another giveaway to the nuclear cartel that we will never use in Georgia. Barry Antoinette is really going to regret this. The Democratic Party, of course, the Republicans are completely hijacked by the Queen and Foxconn News, but the Democrats are really going to regret this. Barry Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake. I can't believe what he's done all in with the nuclear cartel. It's a giant mistake. His legacy is going to pay dramatically for this one, the cover-up of Fukushima. What part of Fukushima do you not get? What part of Chernobyl do you not get? It's ongoing. Stay on tune. Oh, and one other thing. There's a nuclear reactor in Russia, in the Ukraine, that has been taken. It's being used as a pawn. You don't think that's dangerous and scary? Wow, 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 wow. Stay on tune.
Let's go.
Okay, where do you want to go, Atlee boy?
I want to go to that park.